This is a work session, county commission work session, and we'll start our agenda with public comments. Are there any public comments?
Are we recording?
Yeah, this meeting is being recorded. Unfinished business. New business, reassessment update, right?
As of August 5th, the total residential collection is at 91.21%. Total vacants at 70%. Inaccessible is up to 1,466. Flat out refusals is at 279. Like I said, our office is still doing spot checks of their data collection stuff. Data entry wise, they're, I didn't write this down, they're like at 56-57% of the data entry done. And as far as our office, we're currently working the city of Warren for new permits for the 2025 tax year.
Brian, if I'm understanding this correct, they're collecting the information from residential properties only at this time. And then go back and do commercials and industrials?
They're kind of going to be starting commercial industrials here probably next month, first part of next month.
So you're over 91% residential.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, copy
Okay, looks like they're moving along. I'm assuming they're on schedule, given that we had a relatively mild winter last year.
Yes, they're definitely on schedule with data collection. I would assume they'll be finishing that up probably here, definitely before we know the winter sets in, so probably October-ish. So.
Where do you have the software for license to carry? Sure.
I have received the information from Premium. This is an online way, I guess, for people to do their pistol permit at no cost to the county. They sent over our order form as I was directed to for everybody to review. Bill did go over the documentation and stuff. I don't think there's any issues. It's pretty straightforward.
Correct.
It is a small uptick fee for having this, so we would generally have the $20 for the permit to come in and for us to process it. I believe it's a $5 service fee to use the online service, and if they wanted to pay for a credit card, I think it was $1.03 per transaction. So it would be $26.03, but we would still receive the same amount of charges and everything.
The consumer's paying.
Yeah, the consumer is going to be paying for that online option due to a vast majority of our online or the permits going up from Stockton County and other states too. But being so close to the border, it is nice for them not to make several trips down here. They can do the online process, and by doing so, the stuff is going to cut back on a lot of our, I guess, kickbacks, certified mail. It's going to save the county in the long run because they can't fill out this process and submit it without it being filled out properly. So it would kind of take back all of those denials that we may do just by coming across, by not filling the application right. They wouldn't be able to submit it right. So everything is through email, through text messages, how they want to do it. It's a very easy process. So I definitely am for implementing this for the county.
Could you give us an idea of how many other counties?
Right now there are 37 different counties that have the online service as of right now. So he has 4 or 5 in the hopper, so he's going to be over 40 different counties out of the 67 that actually do use this. So it's been around, I believe, since 2020. Blair County was, I think, the first one here. So it's got 4 years of bugs worked out of it and everything. But it seems like it's a pretty good program.
So when I looked at it and we sat through I think you saw them initially at conference potentially, and when we looked at the demo when look at is the software, the added cost, so it goes back to the, we'll call it the consumer, you know, the person, the applicant. So there's no added cost to the county, so it's really more convenience cost for the applicant, offsetting their need to travel in here, as the sheriff mentioned. What it also does though for the county is reduce cost in, you know, postage and going back and forth and saying you didn't fill this out, you need to, and so it's for the people that opt to use this as an option, and that's one of the key things to also mention is that there's the requirement to still use PSP's, state police's licensed carry system. What this does is put a portal in front of that to make sure when they fill out their application, it meets all the requirements, you know, they check the boxes properly, they fill out the application, so that when those applications present to the sheriff's office, they're all accurately filled out, so they don't get submitted partially completed, and then have to do that back and forth, which costs the county money to, hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So, so there's no added cost to the county, but there's potential savings to the county.
Correct.
And there's a convenience opportunity for the people that are using it if they're out of county, out of state.
Or even people here inside.
Yeah, inside the county. So it's, you know, it's a opportunity, I think, all the way around there, when I look at it. And from a IT perspective, it's not hosted on our servers. It's not a burden to the IT department. We really have to put a link on our website, maybe do a little bit of notification to the community that this is available. Beyond that, it's not something that is going to be a burden or a security problem for the county. So
They still have to go through the PICs.
Yeah, everyone will still, they can do it the old school way and fill out the form. It just gives them another option. So at midnight, whenever they get out of work, they're not coming through Monday through Friday business, they can do it right on their phone, enter it in. It essentially makes the permit process available 24/7.
The fee for the PICs, now that will still come from the county?
Yes, yeah, everything from PICS check and all that stuff, this is the back and forth, you know, having the permit not filled out properly, not signed, not dated. I can't, you know, in good faith, you know, sign that stuff without it being properly filled out. So it just kind of negates that back and forth and that cost back and forth.
all still gets entered into PICS,
Yeah,
all still goes through that
Yeah,
process.
the process is still the same, it's just online.
Because PICs, out of the fee, the PICs gets, they get $1
Yes.
per permit. Okay.
So it looks like great, I mean, I think that program is a good idea to be part of, because it just, if it can help us reduce the cost and, you know, have that convenience factor on the other side, it just makes sense.
And there is a lot of work that goes into
Oh,
screening and references. And
yeah, and there's a lot of times that, you know, the clerk will go through and it's not filled out right. Now we get a certified mail back to them. This just kind of negates that they can't submit that online unless the permit's filled out 100% correct.
Does the county earn any revenue from these permits?
Yes.
$18
Yep.
per permit.
Yep.
So will they charge us a merchant service fee to collect that?
No, that money is set aside essentially, all the permits that go through, set aside. We have daily totals, we have weekly totals, we have monthly totals, and then a check is given to the county monthly from.
They'll pay us?
Yeah.
The merchant
Still-
service fee
still
is
the
charged
same.
to
Yeah.
the applicant.
So with the $1.03 for them using the online access goes on them.
Great, thank you.
How many do we do a year, just in total, I mean, even though,
3,500.
so we have about 3,500 applications a year, so, which is significant.
The county gets $19 per permit
Mhm.
that's issued.
Yeah.
And that's not going to change. So there's
No, everything is
And
gonna
it's-
stay the same.
That for the last probably 10 years, the number of permits have been very consistent.
Yes, yeah, it's all the numbers and stuff looking back until the past 10 years are roughly about the same every year.
And every 5 years,
Yeah, 3,500.
they can renew, you can do new applications and you can renew your
Yes.
current.
Yep, and after they're in the system, 60 days prior, gives them a notification on their email. That saves another county, asset of throwing stuff out on, certified mail and all that stuff and trying to mail everything. It automatically gets done, so it's a nice process to have, so.
Anything else?
That makes good sense.
Projects? Mr. Dan? Review the upcoming commissioners meeting, August 14th.
Yeah, one of the agenda pieces for Wednesday is a public hearing for a rezoning request for the planned development in Pine Grove Township. The applicants have instead opted to revise their site plan as opposed to change the zoning on it. Originally, they were looking at rezoning it from planned development to business transitional. The way the ordinance is drawn up for that particular development, which is located up where the surgery center is in Russell area, which is north of Russell, anytime there are revisions to the site plan, it just goes through the planning commission and does not require county commissioner approval. So that is the route that has been selected by the applicant as opposed to rezoning it. So there's no need for a public hearing.
So that's off.
We can strike that, yes. So it would strike the public hearing and then under new business for the commissioner meeting, approval or disapproval of the rezoning request can come off of that agenda.
Anything else? Department committee updates. Brian, you've already done yours. Thank you. Anybody else have anything? General discussion. I have nothing.
Either.
And do we have any reason to go into executive session?
Do not believe so.
That concludes our meeting. Thank you all for attending.